You're listening to GWP Live Severe Weather Coverage. It is Monday, April 27th, 2026, and it is about 5:50 a.m. here, Central Daylight Time, and we are tracking some ongoing storms across the region. Of course, we had quite a few storms into the late evening hours last night. We had several hours where we didn't really have any severe storms, but now the storms are back and firing across our northwestern counties, including one where we do have a tornado warning that is now in effect for the southern suburbs of Kansas City. So we want to get to that. Interestingly enough, this is around the same location as where we had our first tornado warning with our storms yesterday, about 12 hours ago. So that's just some interesting information about that. And so there it is here. That does include a few of our counties. So let's get the latest information that we do know on this warning at this time. So let's go ahead and show you that here. So it's just to the south of Overland Park and Olathe. It's on both the Missouri and the Kansas side. Newly issued tornado warning that remains in effect for, we've got Cass and Jackson counties in Missouri under a tornado warning until 6 a.m. At 5:47 a.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Spring Hill, moving east at 40 miles per hour. This is a radar indicated threat. Locations impacted include Overland Park, Olathe, at least on the south end of Overland Park and Olathe, Leawood, Grandview, Belton, Raymore, and Peculiar. So if you're in any of those locations, you're under a tornado warning until 6 a.m. And so when we go here to the velocities, we've got a little bit of rotation in here just to the south of Stillwell. It looks like that it just crossed US 69 and is now headed towards the Missouri-Kansas border. So if you're in Belton or Grandview, we've also got Martin City that could be looking at this risk as well. So again, let's go ahead and show you that area. So right in here, that's where we've got a little bit of rotation. It was a little bit stronger a few minutes ago. It appears to have weakened just a little bit in intensity just within the last few minutes there, but still something that you want to take very seriously. So again, this remains in effect across Cass and Jackson counties in Missouri on the southern side of Kansas City. Tornado warning newly issued with our new round of thunderstorms that is moving in. This warning lasting until 6 a.m. with a possible tornado threat within it. So that is something that we're going to be watching for very closely here over the next few minutes with that particular storm. We've also got a few other severe thunderstorm warnings that are now beginning to extend into the states. Let's go ahead and show you that here. One of these does include the Kansas City metro area, now under a severe thunderstorm warning. This goes for Wyandotte County and Leavenworth County in Kansas, and then Johnson and Jackson counties in Missouri until 6:15. At 5:30 a.m., a severe thunderstorm was located near DeSoto, moving east at 40 miles per hour. So this is around the Kansas City area. There's also a DeSoto around St. Louis. This is the one there in Kansas City. At 5:39 a.m., a severe thunderstorm was located near DeSoto, moving east at 40 miles per hour. Hazards include 60 mile per hour wind gust and quarter-size hail. We're looking at this risk for Overland Park, Olathe, Shawnee, Lenexa, Leawood, Prairie Village, as well as Bonner Springs, DeSoto, Fairway, Mission Hills, Westwood, Kansas City, and then again Linwood as well. So again, the Kansas City metro area is under a severe thunderstorm warning until 6:15. Our main hazards are going to be 60 mile per hour wind gust and quarter size hail. But again, on that southern end of that, for southwestern Jackson counties in northwestern Cass County in Missouri, we do have a tornado warning with this storm as well. And so it looks like that we just had a brand new severe thunderstorm warning issued on the southern end of Kansas City, particularly for that area surrounding the tornado warning. Let's get some information on this. A new severe thunderstorm warning was just issued for Miami and Johnson counties in Kansas and Cass and Jackson counties in Missouri until 6:15. So newly issued warning in the area. This goes until 6:15 a.m. At 5:51 a.m., a severe thunderstorm was located over Leawood, moving east at 50 miles per hour. Hazards include 60 mile per hour wind gust and quarter-size hail. This is a radar indicated threat, so we're looking at hail damage to vehicles, wind damage to roof sidings and trees. Anytime we're looking at 60 mile per hour wind gust or quarter-size hail, That's going to be that severe threat that we're going to be dealing with. Locations impacted under this new warning include Kansas City, Overland Park, Olathe, Lee Summit, Shawnee, Blue Springs, Lenexa, Leawood, Raytown, Grandview, Belton, Prairie Village, Raymore, Grand Valley, Harrisonville, and Pleasant Hill, and Peculiar. So any of those areas are now under a brand new severe thunderstorm warning that was issued. The main threat is going to be 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter size hail. And so we'll see if we can get that new area. So there it is. So again, Raytown and Raymore, Lee Summit, Peculiar, Harrisonville, all under this new severe thunderstorm warning that now goes in effect for Cass and Jackson counties until 6:15. There is also a flash flood warning in effect for the Kansas City area, as we have already dealt with some very heavy rainfall during the overnight hours and then even into the early morning hours this morning. With the next round of storms, we've seen some very heavy rainfall move in across that region. All right, we will now move into a brief intermission. We will return here at the top of the hour. This is GWP Live Severe Weather Coverage. It is now Monday, April 27th, 2026. It is 6 a.m. and we are still tracking some severe storms across the region. We just recently had a tornado warning for Cass and Jackson counties that did just expire here at the 6 a.m. Top of the hour here. And so that warning just recently expired, as we mentioned. So that, of course, is some good news. The rotation appearing to weaken just below severe limits. We will see if this is extended, but at least at this time, we don't have a tornado warning for the area. We do still have a severe thunderstorm warning, though, that does include Cass and Jackson counties in Missouri on the south side of Kansas City. This goes until 6:15 for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail. So just taking a look and seeing if we have any rotation with the latest scan. So again, that warning has been dropped, but we'll see if it's extended as not a whole lot of rotation, a little bit in there, I guess, on the southwest side of Belton. Very unlikely that we have a tornado right now with this storm, but we're still watching that closely here. Harrisonville under that warning. That also includes Belton, Olson, Acres, Raymore, just for the areas that are under that severe thunderstorm warning until 6:15. So again, this is all part of this line of storms that is now moving into Kansas City here. We've also got some heavy hail associated with this storm around Leawood. It looks like some hail moving in there as well. Kansas City, we've already had quite a bit of rainfall. We actually have a flash flood warning that was issued for the Kansas City area. So regardless, we're going to be dealing with that. We've also had an observed tag. So emergency management has reported flooding in the downtown Kansas City area. So not only do we have the flood risk, but now we have the flooding that has been confirmed across that area. And so flash flood warning remains in effect across the Kansas City area. And then we've also still got those severe thunderstorm warnings until 6:15. So that's where we're at. So again, the good news is that we lost that tornado warning, no longer dealing with that. Again, we'll see if it's reissued here soon. But again, there we go. No longer a tornado warning for that area, but still a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings. One of those, including the Kansas City area, till 6:15. We've got Jackson County in Missouri, and then Johnson and Wyandotte counties in Kansas under a warning until 6:15. 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail. That's going to be the main threat that we're going to be dealing with these particular storms. But again, a few isolated tornadoes are going to be possible as we go through the morning hours across this region, as we've already had some warnings there across the area. So let's say we've also got some severe thunderstorm warnings north of Interstate 70. So that's something we're dealing with. Here's US 65, and then here's Interstate 70. So kind of right in that area, we're dealing with a couple of storms. We just had a heavy storm that moved through the Columbia area. That was not a severe thunderstorm, but it was, still a pretty strong storm that blew through the area. So that's still so a little bit of a break in the action there. Still seeing a few redeveloping storms across Jefferson City, Lake of the Ozarks. Nothing too significant right now across that area, but a few thunderstorms that we are tracking out there around central Missouri. So we're dealing with that. Again, nothing severe right now, so that's good. The only warning that is severe is these two warnings right here across the Kansas City area, where we're looking at that risk for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail. Okay, let's go back to a national perspective of what we're dealing with. So again, really all of the severe weather that we have across the country right now is all concentrated in Kansas and Missouri. We really don't have a severe weather threat right now anywhere else. This is going to continue to evolve as we're going to have a pretty large area that's under that risk for severe weather for today. So here's that severe weather outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. We have an enhanced risk for severe weather across eastern and central Missouri. So our eastern counties is under that enhanced risk. So again, severe storms this morning, but then we're also going to be dealing with another round of storms this afternoon that could also be severe. Then we've got areas like Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Arkansas, and Tennessee that are also under that enhanced risk. We don't have any storms across that region right now, but we are going to see additional storm development this afternoon and into the evening hours across those areas. Tornado risk. Let's go ahead and start off with this. We do have that enhanced level 2 or that significant level 2 risk across central Missouri. Anywhere where we have those straight lines that go from the bottom, or excuse me, the top left to the bottom right. Anywhere where we have those lines, you'll notice that they kind of go again from the top left to the bottom right. They kind of go in this motion right here. Those lines across our central and eastern counties, that indicates where we're dealing with the risk of tornadoes that could be up to EF3 in strength. We also have the hatched marks in this gray area. That indicates where we're looking at EF2 tornadoes are possible today. So there is the potential for some very strong tornadoes later this afternoon, particularly for those areas highlighted in yellow, potentially upwards of EF3s. Winds are going to be a concern. That's not really our biggest threat today. Our biggest threat is going to be the hail. We have that we're in that 30% category across our central and eastern counties, and then we're also under that hatched area for where we could be looking at lime-sized hail or larger across that area. So again, that is something that we're going to continue to be watching through today, as again, we have an enhanced risk for severe weather across our central and eastern counties. Our western counties are under that marginal risk for severe weather, so we still have a risk across Kansas City and Joplin. It's just a little bit less significant than what we're going to be dealing with across central Missouri, including Jefferson City and Columbia. That's where our severe risk is going to be a little bit on the higher side. Okay, we just had a tornado warning issued. So it looks like that storm has once again gone tornado warned. Let's get the latest on it here. Tornado warning issued for Cass County until 6:30 a.m. So here's the latest. At 6:04 a.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Lake Annetta or near Peculiar, moving east at 40 miles per hour. So this is a radar indicated threat. Locations impacted include Harrisonville, Peculiar, Garden City, East Lynn, Lake Annetta, Strasburg, and Gun City. Those areas are now under a tornado warning. Again, this includes Cass County until 6:30 a.m. Central Daylight Time. And so this includes interstates 49 between mile markers 156 and 168. And so let's go ahead and see what we're dealing with here. So yeah, definitely some rotation in there starting to develop on the southwest side of Peculiar, just to the northeast of Lake Annetta. So here's Interstate 49. So it appears that the rotation is moving into that area, potentially crossing over between Peculiar and Harrisonville. So that's around the location that we're dealing with. So again, you will want to make sure to move to a basement or interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. You'll want to avoid windows. If you are outdoors or in a mobile home or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. So again, a new tornado warning was issued for central Cass County until 6:30. A little bit of a radar indicated rotation was started to shown just to the south of Peculiar, about to cross over into or about to cross that interstate line there. Interstate 49 is where this potential tornado would be located at. So right in there, that couplet, those areas where the green and the reds meet up on the south side of Peculiar, that's where we have a radar indicated rotation, possible tornado here in Cass County. This is an area in which we've already seen multiple tornado warnings. We had a tornado earlier this month there in the Belton area, and then we had a tornado warning yesterday across this area as well. So again, we've had quite a bit of action across this region so far this year. And so let's see if we can show you. So again, there's the location of the tornado warning. So again, Lake Annetta, Harrisonville, and then we've got East Lynn, we've got Gun City, we've got Garden City, and then Strasburg under this warning. So again, those are the locations that are now under a tornado warning until 6:30 a.m. So again, take shelter in the lowest level, most interior room. That is going to be where you're going to want to go because again, there was some rotation, particularly on the south side of Peculiar, moving east towards Interstate 49. It appears that the rotation will move just to the north of Harrisonville, but Harrisonville, you are under that tornado warning, and so it is for that reason that you will want to take shelter. Again, there's also a severe thunderstorm warning that remains in effect for this area for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail. So if we already didn't have that tornado risk, we also are dealing with the risk of strong winds and hail in association with this storm as well. And so there's really multiple different reasons why you will want to take shelter for this storm. Not only do we have the tornado threat, which is the most pressing concern in Cass County, but we also have that risk for some pretty strong winds and some hail. And so that is what we're dealing with across that area. Again, around the Peculiar area, tornado warning in effect for Cass County until 6:30 a.m. All right, let's see what else we have happening at this time. So again, flash flood warnings in Kansas City. We've got Rolla under a flash flood warning. That was actually from some storms that we had earlier during the overnight hours. So this storm again is now pushed out of the area. It's a pretty strong storm, nothing severe out of that one, but still pretty loud thunderstorm. We had some very heavy rainfall in here in Columbia just a little bit ago from that storm. Again, a few of these a little, I guess you could say isolated, just showers that are moving through the area. Nothing too significant right now. We have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings further to the north, so we're still looking at those. Like we've got this one here in Chariton, Carroll, Howard, and Saline counties till 6:15, 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail with that. And then on the north side of that, we've got a very large severe thunderstorm warning along US 36 and US 65 here. This goes for Adair, Chariton, Lynn, Grundy, Sullivan, Mercer, Putnam, Carroll, Macon, and Livingston counties until 6:15. Large area where we're looking at that risk of 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail. So the good news is that our thunderstorms that we're dealing with right now are mainly kind of on the lower end of that severe weather threat, but still something that deserves to be watched here across this area, especially for that area that is now under that tornado warning there in Cass County. Let's go ahead and get the latest here on the velocities. So still seeing a little bit of rotation on the just to the south of Peculiar, now moving into Harrisonville. So again, Harrisonville, at this point in time, you should be in your tornado safe place as that radar indicated rotation is located just to the west of you and is moving towards you. So again, Harrisonville, you are next in line for this tornado. We don't typically think of severe thunderstorms during this time of day. Typically, we think of tornadoes during the afternoon and evening hours, and although that is the most common time for tornadoes, we can see tornadoes during really any time of day, including the early morning hours. And so that is why, of course, it is a good idea to get in your storm shelter anytime we have a tornado warning, because there is going to be that risk regardless of what time of day it actually is. So here was the latest at 6:11 a.m. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Peculiar, moving east at 40 miles per hour. And so that's what we're dealing with right now across Cass County, moving into. So here's Peculiar, here's Harrisonville, and then just on the south side there of Peculiar, a little bit of rotation, and it looks like it's going to be moving towards the Harrisonville area really any minute now. So again, you want to take shelter if you're in Harrisonville. If you're in East Lynn, Gun City, you're also under this warning that remains in effect for Cass counties there until 6:30 a.m. So please take shelter immediately. Radar indicated threat, potential rotation moving into the Harrisonville area. All right, well, we will be back here on GWP Live in just a moment. Now we move into a brief intermission. All right, this is GWP Live Severe Weather Coverage. It is Monday, April 27th, 2026, and it is now about 6:20 a.m., and we are back from a brief intermission bringing you all the latest information that you need to know on the severe storms across the area. We are still tracking a tornado warning in and around the Harrisonville area that remains in effect until 6:30 a.m. This is for Cass County. At 6:16 a.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Harrisonville, moving east at about 35 miles per hour. Still a radar indicated rotation, so nothing has been confirmed, but you'll notice as of the latest scan of velocity, the storm was right around the Harrisonville area. So, again, potential tornado moving over Harrisonville right now. This also includes East Lynn and Gun City. So, if you're in any of those areas, take shelter immediately because, again, there is a radar indicated rotation for a possible tornado across that area. We also recently had a severe thunderstorm warning that was issued just to the east of this area. Well, really includes this area and then it goes further to the east. This includes Cass, Henry, Lafayette, Jackson, and Johnson counties in Missouri until 7 a.m. At 6:14 a.m., severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Greenwood to near Lake Winnebago to near Harrisonville, moving east at 45 miles per hour. Hazards include 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. This is a radar indicated threat. There is also a tornado possible tag with this storm. The main tornado risk is going to be around the Harrisonville area, but potential spin-ups along this line is going to be possible for those areas. So if you're in any of those areas, you might want to take shelter for a possible tornado because we are dealing with a tornado possible tag in association with this severe thunderstorm warning. Our main risk is going to be those 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail, but again, a tornado possible tag is also in effect for this warning. Locations impacted include Kansas City, Lee Summit, Blue Springs, Raytown, Grandview, Belton, Raymore, Warrensburg, Green Valley, Harrisonville, Pleasant Hill, Oak Grove, Odessa, Greenwood, Higginsville, Peculiar, Concordia, and Garden City. If you're in any of those locations that I just mentioned, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning that also has a tornado possible tag until 7 a.m. So there's the location. So US 50 right here. So yeah, right in here we've got US 50, then we've got Interstate 49, that tornado warning around the Harrisonville area. But again, a tornado is going to be possible within this line of storms here. So that is what we're going to be dealing with across the area. All right, we also have another tornado warning that was issued to the north of Interstate 70. It's a little bit out of our viewing area, but we'll still go ahead and show it to you here. So there it is. This is right along US 24. Tornado warning has now been issued for Randolph, Chariton, and Macon counties until 7 a.m. At 6:09 a.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Keatonsville or 9 miles northwest of Salisbury, moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. This is a radar indicated threat, so nothing confirmed with this storm, but you'll notice that we do have some rotation. Yeah, right in there, just to the west of Salisbury. That's where we have the reds and kind of the light, just the darker and the lighter colors meeting up there on the radar. So again, right along there, US Highway 24 is right here. We have a tornado warning around the Keatsville. Hope I'm saying that right. Moving towards Salisbury and Prairie Hill. Those areas are going to be next in line for this tornadic storm. So that's what we're dealing with there. So again, there's also a larger area that is under that severe thunderstorm warning that remains in effect for this area until 7 a.m. for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail. But now we have a tornado warning specifically in that location just to the west of Salisbury along US 24 until 7 a.m. So take shelter immediately if you are in these locations. Okay, let's go to the um, radar here. Let's see, we've got a bit of a hook there on the northeast side of Pleasant Hill. We'll see what we've got there, see if we've got any rotation there. And there's a tornado possible tag for anywhere along this line. And maybe something in here. It's a little bit difficult to tell just because of how close to the radar site we are. In fact, let me go to a different radar site, see if we can see anything more clearly. Yeah, a little too far away there. Okay. It's a little bit difficult to see exactly at this time right now, but I feel like there might be a little bit of rotation in here on the northeast side of Pleasant Hill. Again, just a little bit difficult to tell because anytime we get really up close to the radar site, things become a little bit grainy on the velocities. So again, you're under that tornado or you're under that severe thunderstorm warning for a tornado possible tag in Pleasant Hill. So it might be a good idea to take shelter because, again, there is some rotation. It could very well strengthen. And if it does, then we could be looking at something on the ground. So definitely want to watch that closely. Let's get a quick update on the Cass County tornado warning. So the storm has now passed through Harrisonville. So Harrisonville, even though you're still under that warning, you are in the clear. So that is good. The warning, that rotation is just to the east of you there. So yeah, so again, it was located near Harrisonville. It actually could be a little bit closer to here. So if you are in Harrisonville, I would actually stay in your tornado safe place just for the next 5 minutes because that rotation is moving just to the east of you. Still nothing confirmed, so that of course is good. But right in there, that's where we're dealing with some rotation. The reds and the greens meeting up here within this line, showing us that rotation just around the Harrisonville area. So please take shelter if you are in Harrisonville, East Lynn, Gun City, or Garden City. Any of those areas are at risk for this newly issued, or I guess not newly issued, but again, this tornado warning that remains in effect until 6:30. All right, we will now move into another brief intermission. This is GWP Live's ongoing severe weather coverage. It is now 6:30 a.m. on Monday, April 27th, 2026, and we are tracking some ongoing severe storms across the state of Missouri, including a tornado warning that appears to have just expired for Cass County. So that is some positive news. We'll see if it is if it is extended here. Would not be surprised if it was, considering that we did still have some rotation on this storm just a few minutes ago. Um, let's go ahead and see on the velocities if we still have that rotation. A little bit, yeah, still a little bit of rotation in there on the just to the south of East Lynn, northwest of Garden City. But again, as of right now, no tornado warning on that storm as it was just expired. But we will see. The National Weather Service might extend it. Either way, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning that remains in place for the area. This is going to include, so we've got Cass, Henry, Lafayette, Jackson, and Johnson counties under this warning until 7 a.m. 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail are going to be possible. There is no longer a tornado possible tag. So that to me indicates that our tornado risk has gone down with this storm. But still, 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail is going to be possible. This is going to include Warrensburg, Green Valley, Oak Grove, Odessa, Higginsville, Concordia, Holden, Garden City, Lone Jack, East Lynn, Kingsville, and Centerview, as well as a few others. So you're under a severe thunderstorm warning till 7 a.m., 60-mile-per-hour winds, quarter-size hail. And again, we did have a tornado warning a few minutes ago, but that has now expired for the Cass County area. So that is where we're at on that. Okay, let's see what else we're dealing with. We still have a tornado warning to the north here, just to the west of Moberly, north of Interstate 70, that is. Tornado warning for Randolph, Chariton, and Macon counties until 7 a.m. This goes for Salisbury, Keatsville, Clifton Hill, Dalton, and Prairie Hills. Those areas still under a tornado warning until 7 a.m. The surrounding areas is also under a severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail. So if we aren't dealing with the tornado, we're likely dealing with some very strong winds and hail, looking at the velocities here. And so it's getting just a little bit fuzzy again as we get further away from the radar site here. Uh, it's kind of difficult to see exactly where that rotation is, but it appears to be, again, somewhere kind of in that region, just to the north of US 24. So north of US 24, south of US 36, we do have a tornado warning that remains in effect until 7 a.m. So, yeah, so the good news is we don't have any tornado warnings right now in the viewing area. We do still have that severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail. But other than that, we don't have any active warnings right now. So that's really good news. Looks like we just had a new warning issued for the Carrollton area. That goes for Chariton, Lynn, Carroll, and Livingston counties, 60-mile-per-hour winds. And it looks like now we have a tornado possible tag with that storm as well. So this continues to kind of be the theme today, is there's just basically a chance that we could see rotation within each and every one of these thunderstorms. And so let's see. The area highlighted is around the Carrollton area. So yeah, there it is. A little bit of rotation in there around US 24, around Carrollton. So we've got US 24, we've also got US 65, kind of around that intersection there around Carrollton. Severe thunderstorm warning, again, we're mainly looking at 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail. This newly issued warning goes until 7:15, but again, within that storm, there is a tornado possible tag. And so that is the reason why we're going to be watching this storm closely. So tornado possible tag, severe thunderstorm warning for the Carrollton area until 7:15, newly issued. So But again, as of right now, those storms are actually out of the viewing area. The only storm that is within our viewing area is this one that includes Lee Summit, Warrensburg, and Pleasant Hill and Garden City. That warning continuing until 7 a.m. The main threat again with that storm, 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail. All right. Well, considering that we don't have any other, significant warnings across the viewing area, we are going to go ahead and end this live stream. But again, we will restart the live stream later today if necessary. We will continue to keep you updated here on the Great World Productions. But for now, that is the end of our severe weather coverage.